Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have a Wayne. Wayne is from England in the UK. So let's see what Wayne has to say. Enjoy the interview.
How we doing? UK? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello Wayne, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Are you
So,
well?
yeah, I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell me, how's your Saturday going so far?
Very good. It's cold and wet outside. I was going to do. I do like bits of painting and stuff every so often. I just had the an idea for a little piece earlier. Went outside, got some spray cans, and the second I touched the tip of the can, it started raining like really heavy. So that was that was the end of that.
And during the weekend, do you have like a routine or something that you do every weekend, or you just go with the flow?
I go to the gym pretty much every day. So I've had a big gym session this morning, and
Uh-huh.
then today there's quite a few auditions that I've got to do. So I'm going to sort of obviously I love doing them, so it's just a lot of fun to sort of tackle them. But there's so many and so many different characters.
Uh-huh.
I'm sort of tripping over myself. I need to really after we finish chatting, I'm going to set out exactly which one I'm going to do first and work
Wow.
my way through systematically.
What did you work out in the gym today?
Today was shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
but I was doing some commercial work for Argos yesterday. Well, for the last 3 days in the studio,
Uh-huh.
and the basically I was doing some stuff with some kettlebells, and they were constantly asking me to do the same shoulder. So when I came into this shoulder session today, just everything's like sort of tweaked out a little bit.
And gym always been part of your life?
Pretty much, yeah, I'd say so. I was a skateboarder before I did any sort of acting and bits and pieces like that. So um, the gym came in after several really bad injuries on a skateboard, and then
Wow.
it's just been incorporated into my life. So
Wow. Right. So tell me where you're from, Wayne.
so I'm from a place in the Midlands in Derbyshire called Ashbourne, just a small market town, um,
See?
which suits it services me well enough, really. I'd love to move down into London, but with the
Uh-huh.
prices and everything and how since COVID everything's online, it works being based in the Midlands and sort of traveling around. So I spend a very long amount, a large amount of time in my car.
So tell me something interesting about your hometown. Tell me something that stands out compared with other places.
Uh, it's a very basically just recently they've had like an injection, I think it's like 16 million pounds to um elevate the town and sort of bring more to it. But what they've ended up doing is putting a lot of one-way systems through the town.
Right.
So now this it's quite a busy market town, and the congestion now is absolutely ridiculous. So some journeys have taken about an hour and a half to get just from
Wow.
my house now,
Wow.
just out to the next town. It's insane. So yeah,
But when they try to bring some more things to the city, there's always, something to.
yeah. Roadworks. Obviously, you need to break a few eggs to make an omelette. So I guess that's the that's the best way to look at it.
When I know you are an artist, you're an actor, so let's start the interview talking about your career. So tell me, what's the beauty of acting?
The beauty of acting. To start from the beginning with from a very early age, I was a skateboarder, and that was everything I wanted to be, and more. Every single day I'd go out and spend hours upon hours on a skateboard, and I tore my ACL in my knee, which is basically just the thing that holds your knee together.
Wow.
So even now to this day, my knee sort of shakes side to side, and I'll have like weird stints where I'll like walk upstairs and trip over a step because my brain thinks there's a step there. My knee's just so sort of out of sync.
Interesting.
After that went, I broke my left ankle, had surgery, had a big plate put into it, then broke my right ankle, then got an infection in it all, and I had to basically stop. And while I was in a like a physiotherapy center, I met a film director who was like, "Oh, we're doing a film just locally to where I live." And I'd always been a big film buff. With my dad, early years, we'd watch all of the 80s action films, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. They were just on continual loop all the time. but it was weird that it never felt possible, which is strange because I was aspiring to be a skateboarder, which wasn't possible in my small town in the UK. But having all these injuries and basically having to relearn to walk, I had to sort of reevaluate what I was going to do with my life. I just bought a house and it wasn't paying the bills. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Wow.
And having been offered to be in a film, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I can remember being on this film set and I sort of drafted a friend in and we both went on this set. And while we were filming it, we thought we were the lead characters. We did, we weren't at all. They got like loads of different, very established people on there, and we were just extras. And we went to the film premiere expecting us. Me and Pete thought we were going to be like on the poster or whatnot. We went to the premiere, and you literally see us for like a split second. Um, and from that point onwards, I was like, I think I can do something with this. It's sort of living, especially coming back to like Ashbourne, where I'm from. It's very quiet,
Mhm.
and it's almost like when I walk around here, feel like I see in black and white, and there's not, you feel sort of, oh, what am I going to do? There's nothing going on, and the skateboarding was taken away, and then to be on a film set, it was almost like color, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's all these opportunities, and I get the same feeling when I play guitar, when I skateboarded, painting.
Wow.
It's art, so. Um,
Amazing.
Coming full circle to the answer to your question, I
No, I love
actually
it.
feel it's everything. I've gone fully. I'm fully immersed now, so it's good.
Wow. I love those life stories when, as you said, you're not never planning for it, and suddenly you're just being asked for it, and suddenly something just lights up in your mind, and a new journey started. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey. Okay,
Awesome, thank you.
are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views? Amazing. Welcome to in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Wonderful questions. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song, just first relax before the first question. Okay?
Awesome.
Just let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. First question is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Mm, this is a tough one.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I think so. Yeah, I'm single now, and I've been single for a few years. So
Mhm.
the last couple of relationships to do, in my opinion, with this acting journey which I've gone on, it's very to sort of get to where I've got to. And again, I may be completely wrong with this, and it's different for everyone. But for me, I've had to be. It is quite a selfish pursuit in some respect, and I've
Right.
really got to be. I've got to be there for myself. There was the last couple of relationships have made me sort of feel, you come away feeling worse off, and I'm in a good spot now. So to sort of recall any sort of romantic recollections quite difficult, just because I've sort of you just moved past it. Hopefully someone will come along at some point, but yeah, you're probably better pulling out a different question. I'm probably the worst person for this.
Not a problem at all. So tell me, based on the first question, what's the meaning of love for you?
Um, supporting one another, being there for one another,
Mhm.
thick and thin, unconditional love. Yeah, that's
Okay, cool.
that's how it feels. So
No, I love it. I think love is just about, there's no rule. There are no rules about anything in life. I think it's just how you feel, as you mentioned before about your career, and I could see your eyes shining talking about that, and that's love for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be
yeah,
a romantic love.
I think on going very deep,
Mhm.
self-love is hugely important because I feel like you can give out
100%.
love, which I've done in the past, but not had anything for myself. You know
Totally.
what I mean? Regardless of the sort of selfish pursuit of a career in entertainment, the self-love was not there. I think you sort of really have to sort of take a few steps back
Yeah,
and yeah.
I get that. And sometimes people they are shy to say that they love themselves or they are the main person of their lives, their journey. You know what I mean? There's no wrong with that. Sometimes we are shy to say that, but I don't think it's a shame to say that. I think we should embrace it. You
Yeah,
know?
well, I think society as well, it is, I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I think particularly people from the UK, we do tend to sort of not like ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better to publicize that you don't like yourself more than, yeah, I'm very proud of myself.
Totally.
I went for a physiotherapy session a few weeks back, and I was sort of explaining to the guy there, like, oh, I've achieved this in my career and I've done that, and I'm proud of myself. And he said it's so rare to hear someone say they're actually proud of
Wow,
themselves. Uh,
incredible.
yeah.
And what's the biggest joy of being a Wayne? What do you like the most about being you?
Um, at the moment, it's freedom. I've sort of like come from. I've done a lot of things backwards, so to speak. Like I bought a home. I was in a 10-year relationship. Obviously, my girlfriend sort of was separated, but it was almost like a marriage. We had the dogs and everything. And
Oh,
then now I'm now renting that property out, and I just feel free. You know, one day I can be. I was in Sweden just the other day doing a screen test for a film, and I was in Poland for a commercial at Milton
oh,
Keynes last week. So it's freedom, um, which has come at
amazing.
it. That sounds very glamorous, and
No,
people. It's very easy to like look and go, oh, look how fantastic it is for him, and he's doing all these different things. But the sacrifice, the years of sort of getting to that point have been, again, why I feel so proud about everything that's going on at the moment.
beautiful, amazing. Next question. Let's do it.
Cool.
Hey, next question is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
Um, I have a lot of best friends, but one friend in particular, the guy who I did the first film with, I can call him any time of day. Today is raining. There's a huge field over the road from where I'm staying right now, and if I was to walk out in the rain, do a cartwheel through a puddle, get completely drenched in mud, I could knock on his door and he would let me in. He'd clean you, he'd feed you, and he'd have you there all day, regardless of if he was, you know, he's a family man. He's got a lot of responsibility, and yeah, that's.
Wow. Okay, so he's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching.
Thank you, matey. You're absolutely awesome. You're a legend. Keep
I,
going.
I love it. I think those people that just cross our path, and they come to stay, and sometimes we need to appreciate those people for sure.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you?
there's a lot. I'm very fortunate. I've got loads of friends. There's a million and one people that I can sort of talk on in that regard. So
Uh-huh. And for you, most of your friends, they are also best friends. They are also, in the film industry or not? You have some, most of them, they are out
um
of it.
yeah, so again, because I've, I've done the acting, I've got lots of acting friends. I've got people who I'm friends with who play music because I was in a band at one point. Skateboarding friends, timeless. They're like the best.
Yeah,
Everyone's like awesome. And then there's obviously all the friends at the gym as well. So yeah,
amazing. Next question. Let's
thank
do
you.
it. Right. So before the next question, so tell me how music came into your life.
Music.
Yeah.
I so it's my mum and dad.
Mhm.
They're heavy rock fans. I was bottle fed Led Zeppelin, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath,
Wow.
My brother's named after David Coverdale of Whitesnake. I was
Uh-huh.
named after a motorcyclist, Wayne Gardner. But yeah, from a very early age, it was guitar driven music, and sort of stemming through when I went to school. I can remember going onto the school bus, and there was a guy on the bus, I was friends with someone else. I was going for dinner at his house, and this other guy on the bus sort of like sat next to me, and he gave me his earphone, and I put this music in, and I've never to this day heard music so loud. It was so deafening and loud, but it was extremely heavy music.
Uh-huh.
And from that day onwards, I was like, I need the heaviest. I love heavy rock,
Wow.
and that's all down to Simon, who I sat on the bus with, and we became best friends. Another best friend, and yeah, music was sort of ingrained from that point onwards. Skateboarding, the culture of music is also very important. So,
So tell me three names of three artists that you always been inspired by in the music industry.
um, I like so many. Like right now, I love a band called Architects.
Okay.
They, you know, everyone has hard times. There's darkness in everyone's life, but that band in particular, their lead guitar player and main musical writer, um,
Mhm.
he died from I think it was leukemia, and the final album he did just really resonates with me. And obviously, hard times with losing family members and things,
Mhm.
and that piece of work is just phenomenal. So Architects are a huge band for me. Like Black Sabbath again, just thinking about like my parents and sort of bringing me up on that stuff. And uh, again, eclectically, just all the heavy metal bands, all of them, all in one go.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, who has been the most influential person in your life?
My mom, definitely.
Why is that?
She is ridiculously hardworking, the toughest skin around. I can feel emotional sort of bringing that up, but she's awesome. Yeah, she's really, really helped me.
Wow.
And yeah, there's certain things like I'll sort of reflect back on tough times, and she's been able to just, from my perspective, held it all together. And
Mhm.
that's and the work ethic is second to none.
Wow.
Um,
So what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from her so far?
just to dig deep and keep going. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, things do get better.
What's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity? You and your mom.
Um, the similarity is potentially work ethic,
Okay.
and the biggest difference is my potty mouth. I'm really bad for swearing, so if I've sworn in this, she hates me swearing, and I do swear quite a lot. So that's that's the biggest difference. The grammar. Um, yeah,
How often do you see her? Do you see her very often or not?
yeah. So when I put my house on the market for rental, I've actually moved back in with my mum. We lost my dad a few years ago, so she was on her own. It just made sense for me to be here because I'm never really at home anyway. Like I was in
Mhm.
Milton Keynes last week, and then all the other sort of film projects. It didn't make sense for me to be living in a house on my own. So,
I can see that you have a mate on your left hand side. Who is that? There's like in a cage. Who is
oh,
that?
this is Khaleesi, but she's asleep at the moment. I was hoping I'd be able to get her out, but she's asleep at the moment.
So tell me a little bit about her, how she came into your life.
So she is a bearded dragon,
Oh,
and she's named after Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. Uh,
amazing.
when I first left this house and moved out to live on my own with my girlfriend at the time, I always wanted a snake when I was younger. Again, my parents were like big heavy metal fans, but they didn't like the idea of a reptile. We've always had dogs. So the
Uh-huh.
second I sort of had my own house, I was like, right, I'm going to go and get some bearded dragons. I actually got two, and one was sort of taking over and eating all the food over the other one. So I had to take one back, and I've just got Khaleesi now. She's probably going on for 15 years old, so
Wow,
she's quite tired at the moment. But
that's amazing. Oh, wow. And she always had the same temperature in her case, in her house or
yeah,
not?
there's the setup's pretty simple. There's like a UV bulb which
Hmm.
provides essentially replicates the sun and helps them digest food. and then there's a
Wow,
heat bulb at the back. Um, I've got a thermostat there, but I just go by the color on what it's meant to be on, so I
I
can't really
see.
give full on specifics. But
Amazing.
yeah, she's happy in there.
Great. Next question. Let's do it.
Cool.
Right, before the next one, of course, Christmas is just around the corner. So tell me, what's the meaning of Christmas for you?
The meaning of Christmas, again, going quite philosophical. I feel like the lines get jaded a lot of the time, and it's all about. I could easily come on and be like, "Oh, it's all about family," and but Pete, I think a lot of the time it's marketed like it's all about consuming, and
Um,
I want it to be about family and just coming together, essentially, which is the most important thing for it all. And I think as you get older, you sort of appreciate the times with people more than
mhm.
when you're younger. It's just you obsessed with my nephew at the moment. I've just gone and got him loads of gifts and stuff, and it's so difficult because you, yeah.
Tell me one movie that you need to watch every Christmas season. Tell me one food that for you it's a must on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. And also tell me a song that when it plays, you go like, oh my God, Christmas is here.
Um, so the movie would maybe be like Lord of the Rings or something. Just get the extended edition. Just get get that on. You know that's going to bring people in. If you like it, you love it, and if you're
Uh-huh.
not too keen, you're not going to enjoy the God knows how many hours of footage there. Food would have to be Pigs in Blankets.
Okay.
Just yeah, they speak for themselves. And music, again, I'm very inclined towards heavy metal and rock. So like as soon as the Christmas carols come on, I'm like, oh no. It's not about the humbug, it's the repetition. But it's cheap coming from me because I listen to a lot of, for example, Architects, I'll listen to the same tracks over and over again. But a repeated
Uh-huh.
Christmas song comes on, I'm like, oh my gosh. Maybe they need like a heavy drums and guitar. I'll have to work something.
I
So
was, I was about to say that they should you just giving ideas now for those rock bands to
yeah.
come up
Do you
with
play
a
any
very
instruments?
Christmas rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say again?
Do you play any
Yeah.
instruments?
I think that's the I don't actually. When I was a child back in Brazil, I started playing piano. I love music. For me, music is part of my life. I'm not a musician, however, I live by the sound of music. And when I
Yeah.
was, I think, 6, 7 year old, I was living in a very small town, literally in a very small town back in Brazil, and I was already, like this passion about music. And my mom put me in these piano classes, and I started doing it. And I don't remember why I stopped. I don't remember if the teacher was gone, was something. I don't remember now, but I need to stop. And I was really sad
Oh,
about it at the time. And I remember, I have a funny story. I remember my teacher, she's put some matches box in between my fingers just for me to get the
yeah.
thing. I don't remember. I remember that putting this box there. I was like, okay, 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 I'll get it. So I have this vague memory. So yeah, I think that music is, as you know very well, it just moves you. It just
Yeah.
gets you in places, emotions. It's just every day for me. Music needs to be around. Even when I do the show, I need to have this music here by
Yeah.
my side to bring me these good vibes for sure. Yeah,
We need to start a band, a Christmas band.
yeah. Let's do it. Rock
We'll
music,
get-
Christmas band.
I'll buy you a keyboard for Christmas.
Let's go. There we
Spoiler
go.
alert.
Okay, next question for you is. What's the best gift have ever received, and why you consider that?
Best gift is this is so like this is the worst answer, but I'm going to say like a PlayStation 2 or something.
Okay.
When I just remember back when they came out, God knows how many years ago, the second one, and my mom had been out, and no one knew what the PlayStation 2 looked like. They'd obviously had the Sony PS1, and my mom, I think it was Woolworths at the time, she went, picked up this box, and it was a huge, huge box. We're obviously not going to fit it with my arms, but massive box. She left Woolworths. She managed to somehow get it to the car. I think one of the assistants in Woolworths helped carry it through. And she thought, I'm just gonna have a look at this. Like this, how big are these things? She opened it up and there was like 10 PlayStation 2s in there. And then the cat again, another one of my mum's awesome qualities. She turned around and went back to the store and gave back 9 of these PlayStations. Um, so there's a nice story in that, and obviously PlayStation 2 that sparked endless amounts of creativity. You know,
Yeah.
that helped with drawings, paintings from Final Fantasy VII to Tomb Raider. Those
Well,
those games were incredible.
great. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Right, before the next question, let's do a little game. So let's pretend that you're gonna put together a short movie or a scene or something in the theater. You're gonna be part of it as well. You're gonna be playing on it, and you have the biggest budget in your hand, so you can pay anyone to join you. You need to choose anyone to play as your mom on this, in this project. Any other to play your dad, also a romantic partner as well, and you can play anyone, any director or producer in the world to join you to help you to put all this project together. So tell me those names.
So as soon as you tell me that, I would literally, this is no joke, I would use people I know already. So I'd use people who I've worked with over the years,
Yeah,
who've been a massive part. But there's that many of them. If I now tell you their names, they're going to watch this and be like, "Hey, didn't say my name." So I will use celebrity names, but I mean this like completely and truly, that I would use people I've come across. And now when a lot of the projects that I get involved in, the director or the casting director may ask, "Oh, do you recommend anyone?" And there's always, there's a list of names that always shine through. Again,
right.
really good. It's a really cool community of actors that I'm sort of immersed with. So I would definitely use them, and I would give them all the money because they deserve
I'm
it.
sure. I'm sure you would. I'm
It's
sure.
so awesome. But
And actually, I'm going to stop you now, Wayne. Just let's say something very, very nice from your approach. I love the way you answer this. You started answer this question because it's about being grateful, and you know how hard the acting industry is, the
yeah,
opportunities. And I love the way you said that right now, because I asked this question to a lot of people here, and of course we love to work with those big stars, big names, which not wrong with that, they are part of our lives in a way or other, watching
yeah.
movies. However, I love the approach you just said now about your mates, your colleagues, because you know how hard it is working,
Oh, 100.
auditions, all of that. And I love your
There's
approach. Just I would like to mention that
Oh
before
no,
you.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
There's a
love
lot of
that.
irony in all of this because the bigger the project, sometimes you can work. I will work just as hard on a student project as I will for something for Warner Brothers. It really doesn't matter. And again,
Hmm.
my peers will do exactly the same. And again, I'd want to bring them in. Let's get
Totally.
let's get those guys in.
That's what I love. That would love to have those people around you to give the opportunities for them as well. I love that.
Yeah,
Literally amazing.
like it would be lovely. Obviously, the director I would choose would be Christopher Nolan. Um, I, just everything he does is gold. But again, he's got a lot of this budget accessible to him. He's super creative. But I know my personal pick, I would bring someone out of my sort of catalogue of friends. But yeah,
But
Christopher.
don't worry, your friends are gonna understand that you are here on
Yeah,
this
they
ball.
know who they are.
They will.
They
I do
definitely
know
know
that
who they are.
they will understand as well, because if they would be in your shoes, they would, also based on the interview, they would choose those names as well, those big names. So
Yeah.
tell.
And then I would say co-star would be Anna de Armas. I don't have to think about that too hard. It's just, yeah,
To play your
to like the love interest.
I
Um,
love interest. Okay, okay.
yeah. Again, there's loads of actresses which I would
I
choose.
know, I already got it.
But again, just to put a face that everyone knows about, I would use her. And who would play my mom? Um, I would actually use my mum because I can say this. Yeah, there's so many people, but I'd get my mum in some drama classes, and my mum would be there.
Sweet.
So,
Your dad?
and my dad. What when are we shooting and are you free, William? I'm gonna get you in.
Okay, I can play your dad. Absolutely, I can do
Yeah,
that. I can put it up a British accent and I can play your dad.
there we
Good.
go. That is my ensemble.
I love it. I love it. Hey, next question. Next question for you is, what's your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Guilty pleasure TV show. Again, with art, I love all art. So there's nothing, I will go and watch literally anything. I've got one of those Odeon unlimited passes, and I'll just go and see as many films as possible. Um, so I don't particularly have a guilty pleasure. Embarrassingly, I walked out of a movie just the other day. Again, when I was younger, my dad would have all the Schwarzenegger stuff on, and we always used to watch Predator, and that was like this. It was such a terrifying thing for someone under the age of probably 10 at the time to be watching. But that character's resonated with me as something that's he's not a very nice character. He's very powerful and he's competitive. And I went to
Uh-huh.
watch the new Predator, and it didn't have those sort of the humanize the Predator.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like when I don't really understand why reviewers will go to the movies and then slate a film. Like I didn't enjoy that, so I came away from it. But I wouldn't. I'm still happy that they're making the film. Like all power to them, keep making them. But they're not. It wasn't for me because I like the scarier, rougher,
Right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in the forest with training, and just it didn't have those vibes. So that would have been like a guilty pleasure in some respect, but
Uh-huh.
it does conform to my usual taste. It just this time wasn't what I wanted.
Okay.
But,
Two questions left. Let's do
cool.
it. Do you like dancing?
Do I like dancing? I went back to my skateboarding days. I was introverted. I didn't sort of push myself to the front. And it was only over I say last couple of years, it's probably like 15 years or something since I was doing the skateboarding stuff. But I realized, and I know you ask at the end about people's favorite quotes and things, but there's just the idea that the best things are on the other side of fear.
Mm-hmm.
So, dancing, standing up in front of people and having a jive and having fun. Again, from that sort of British perspective, oh, what's he doing? Why would he look at him? What's his deal? And that's the sort of sound that you hear. And then to just go and dance and be free is liberating, isn't it? So
100%.
I'm
100%.
I'm a newly reformed dancer enthusiast. So there we
No,
go.
I get your point. I think people, about dancing, there are no rules. Dance is about for you to close your eyes, connect with the music, and just move yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I see music. That's how I see dance. Express yourself through music. Sometimes you're shy to go out and, in a club or in a place where there's some people dancing. And they're just dancing, they're, of course, professional dance is a different thing, but if you're in a public place just having fun, there are no rules. It's just about you connect with the music and just move
Yeah.
yourself easily.
And again, like the fact that there's no rules, it can be just as blissful to sort of go and
Totally.
just embrace, just be there. And if
Yeah,
if you're tapping your foot and that makes you happy, tap
totally.
your foot, and
Totally.
just really enjoy it. So
Amazing. Okay.
yeah.
Next question is, talk about music. Tell me what's the soundtrack of your life and why.
Oh wow. Uh Hey, it's got to be something like the Lord of the Rings soundtrack,
Mhm.
something epic, and obviously it's a classical, any sort of classical piece of music where there is peaks and troughs. Um, Again, things at the moment are very prosperous and everything's looking great, so we're probably on some very high. There's probably some violin in there right now, and
Mhm.
something that you can dance and tap your foot to. But then in the next moment or years gone by, there's been some very gloomier sort of sounds, and uh yeah, that's I wish I had a name for a particular sort of composed piece, but something like classical.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You mentioned about the Lord of the Rings, and one of my favorite movies as well. I watched a few times, like all of them. It's movies for me, Wayne. It's the only time I love cinemas. Literally, I love cinema. When it's the only time where I forget about everything what's happening outside, and I just connect with the movie. Literally. And fun enough, I saw your advert. I was checking your profile. I saw your advert on Cineworld. I'm a member of Cineworld since 2007 when I arrived in the UK. So
Wow.
imagine, since then I have my card. I don't have here one, but I have my membership cards with since 2007 when I arrived in London. Move lovers. So, the first thing when I arrived in London is to find a place where I could go to the cinemas. And so I go every weekend. That's my therapy.
Amazing.
So,
Amazing.
so back to the advert. Let's talk about the advert that you did for Cineworld. So tell me how the opportunity came along for you to do it.
Oh, so it was the promo for Minecraft movie that was at
Yes,
Cineworld. Yeah.
yes.
Just the usual sort of process. So an agent, one of my agents sort of messaged me and said, we have this audition for Warner Brothers. It's in association with the Minecraft movie. They sort of send me a little clip and a script.
Uh-huh.
I auditioned, and my audition process, probably in the last 12 months, I literally go all in. I'll use props, I'll use sound effects, and I just literally love it. So the reward for me is the audition, and if it goes beyond the audition, fantastic. But I'm really going in hard. So I did this audition. I loved it. I'd sort of shown a few friends because I was so sort of passionate with the whole thing, and I booked the job. So we
Uh,
shot in the Cineworld in Sheffield. I
okay.
arrived on the day of shooting, and Warner Brothers had sort of reviewed the script that very morning and changed the script. So the script originally was very much based around Steve, who's Jack Black's character. There was a lot of lines quoted from that, and they didn't want me to sort of, it goes against the film. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Yeah,
paint
yeah.
the film in too much of a silly light, and it's Jack's character. So they changed the script around, and I was like, oh my gosh, because this is going to be a big one. And it all worked out.
Amazing.
The other cast members, the crew were incredible. Again, when you do these things, it's a big family environment.
Totally.
Everyone wants you to do well. I want
Yeah.
them to do well, and we had a lot of fun. So obviously,
Wow.
then I took my nephew to the cinema. He's a big Minecraft fan, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" Just loving
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure I saw you, one of those adverts because as I told you, I've been, part of it since 2007, and I go every weekend. Before the Matchbox, I was going more often because I had, let's say, more time the weekend. But now, because the show is all about that for me, so I take one time for the weekend just for me to see a movie. And so yes, I'm a movie lover for sure. Yeah. Last question. Ready? Let's do it. Last one. Before the last question, for the interview, you talk so dearly about skateboarding. You mentioned very dearly also, you mentioned about music and about acting as well. I'm going to put you in a spot now, a hard question. If someone come up to you, say, okay, Wayne, you can just follow one of the three journey for the rest of your life, and you're going to be the success, like you're going to hit the highest of it. Which one would you choose and why?
So I've cheated a little bit here because I've watched what you've done with other people, and you've asked this sort of question, and the answer is it. So they all sit on. I'm defending my answer right now, but they
I
all
know,
sit
of
on an
course, I can see
artistic
it.
level. It's skateboarding, and the reason it's skateboarding is because with skateboarding it's so free and liberating. I could get my board, go out by myself, listen to music, and just skate all day, and I don't need anyone else with me. And again,
Mhm. I get it. I get it.
it's quite, again, just very it is solitary, but it's so, I can see in colors, and I watch skateboarding to this very day. Doing,
Hmm.
I like learn lines while I'm watching skateboarding. I do gym stuff while I'm watching skateboarding, and I can sort of learn tricks. And even now, I can think about it, and but it all comes together. It's almost like that way of seeing color and acting, I get that same feeling when I'm acting. The only problem is with acting is I've got to wait for a script, a director, a sound guy, a gaffer, blah 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 blah. There's all these people, and there's so much unpredictability.
I get it. Yeah,
But it makes me feel so. But in the moment, if we're now doing a scene, I am so happy. Like it's awesome, and we're
right.
trying all these different things. But again, then I can pick up a skateboard, and it's like instant. I just get that release.
Totally.
Same with music, same with painting. It's it all feels the same.
Totally, I get your point, and it's a different dynamic as well. I think the skateboarding, it's more, as you said, you just go for it, and you know you manage, and somehow it depends on you. You know what I mean? I get your point for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, last question is, if you had only 24 hours of life, what would you do?
Uh, you know what? It's quite an emotional. So I'd do what I'm doing now. I'd be talking. I'd finish this. If someone said you've got 24 hours, we would finish this interview, and I would carry on doing what I'm doing now because I feel like I'm on a really good path at the moment, and I'm
Amazing,
doing what I want.
amazing.
And again, many years, I've sort of done what I felt I should be doing in fear of I don't even know you know what was stopping me from being like a full-time actor, doing bits of music, selling paintings and stuff. Nothing ever was, and I think you can get bogged down with
Mhm.
expectations. So I would do exactly what I'm doing now. That's that sounds bonkers to think, that I
No right or
would,
wrong.
you
So
know,
what came to your mind? What came to your mind? Not right or wrong. It's a genuine answer.
I'd go to the gym, we'd have a nice chat, then I would play some guitar, learn some lines, film self-tape, and be grateful.
That's what I call an artist.
Thank you. That's yeah. That's
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's
awesome.
start with money,
Money, wealth,
family,
love,
fear,
uh, broken bones,
okay? Life,
life, joy,
love,
forever.
religion,
Uh, cloudy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know.
one word for sex,
Uh, love.
politics,
Uh, bad stuff. I can't- So,
not right or wrong, not right
yeah,
or
I'm
wrong.
trying to be as spontaneous as possible. Politics, yeah, there's good and bad. It's just murky water. It's just
Friendship,
friendship, happiness,
desire,
desire is cake.
regret,
Regret not happening.
success,
Pardon?
success,
Success, perseverance,
wish.
wish, genie,
I'm a genie in the bottle. Da, 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 da. Happiness.
happiness, family.
One word for England.
I just think in roadworks because of how I live. Just damn roadworks everywhere. Yeah.
One word for artist.
Artist, me,
One word for skateboarding.
life, forever.
Oh, I love it. I love your connection with it. It's amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your mom for a coffee and I'm going to ask her. Define Wayne in one positive and one negative word only. What should say about you?
Um, ambitious.
Mhm.
And I know the foul-mouthed sort of it's a frequent swearer, and yeah, it's something like that.
What's the worst swearing that you do it that she goes mad and I can put beep in the end after you say.
Oh, it's just, it's just like so. Before, for years, I worked as a fabrication engineer, and those guys, they are the salt of the earth. It's a group of lads. You know, you've got my back, I've got your back, but I will tear you apart with words verbally. And if I was to repeat any of the things that sort of get said in that engineering workshop, I'd be banned forever. But it's everything's said with such love, and everyone's got one another's backs. But you're falling out all the time and stuff like that. But that enhanced my potty mouth for sure. And there's a lot of swearing on these film sets as well. So it's sort of how we communicate.
Party mouth. I like that. I like this mouth. I love it. Let's play now, Wayne, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But okay, so before you ask me the question, tell me what skateboarding has taught you.
Perseverance. Just, there's times where you're sort of hitting the floor, you're cold, you're sort of aching, and you sort of stick with something. And that I've carried throughout with painting. I don't really believe in, a lot of people call actors the talent. And I don't really, it always makes me feel a bit itchy, sort of thing, to think, someone says, oh, it's talent. And for me, I don't feel I've got an ounce of talent. It's just, I just keep doing stuff until, do you know,
Yeah.
I'm continually building. My first acting role was, the improvements now to my most recent piece, to the oldest piece, is huge. If my first piece was a masterpiece, then I would say, oh yeah, that guy's really talented. Or a piece of art, some of the drawings I did when I was a kid, they were very good, but they were based on me loving the process. Same with
Oh,
music, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Once you get back on the piano, once you play it for a few hours, it sort of, it amplifies. I'm big into this thing on my hat. It's from Dragon Ball Z, and have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z?
I don't want to know which one it is. I was wondering about this sign on your head. I was
Yeah,
like,
so they're like these alien creatures that when they're defeated
uh-huh.
to a point near death, they're all fighting and stuff. It's all silly craziness, but when they're defeated, that's when they level up the most. And I feel that embodiment sort of runs true with everything that I do. You do things, you get knocked down, you're lifting weights, you sort of feel sore, but then you come back and you feel stronger. So I've completely lost track of what the question was now.
No, no, it's about about skateboard. What has taught you? That's
Yeah,
yeah,
it is that perseverance. It's
yeah,
that,
yeah.
things aren't always enough pressure will create a diamond, so to
Hmm.
speak. You
Okay,
yeah.
can ask me a question now, Wayne.
Yeah, so this isn't in regards to the chat. So who is your favorite artist in terms of, I'll probably ask you from an acting perspective, as we've spoken a lot about acting, and what stands out for that particular artist? What makes them special to you?
Okay, I was about to answer a different way, but after you said the acting, I it changed my answer. Um, I'm gonna answer this question based in a moment that I had in my life. A few years ago, I was working in a five-star hotel in London, and I literally went. I was doing room service, and this person called for something. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a coffee or something. And I went to the room. I rang the bell. I went to the room, and this guy, he was kind of, I could see he was staring, but he was like, I could see he was kind of, I was talking to him, and he was look at me, and he said, "Are you Brazilian?" I said, "Yeah, I'm originally from Brazil." And he said, "You know what? A long time ago, I did a project in Brazil, and the answer of the audience in Brazil for me was I never had anywhere that in my career, in my life. When he said that, I said, okay, he might be a producer or a director or actor because I didn't know who he was. I said, "Oh, amazing!" And we had a little chat, and he signed the deal and I left the room. Of course, when he left the room, I went straight away on Google to see who he was, and he was William Hurt, the actor who sadly passed away a few like not long ago.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh my God," and I didn't know who he was, and I did a little research about his career, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe."
yeah.
and he was so down to earth. He stayed in the hotel like for a month because he was doing a project in London and in Wales as well. So he was a lot there, and the whole hotel fell in love with him because he was so down to earth. He was calling ourselves by our names. He knew it. He told me once, William, you speak too fast. You need to slow down a little bit. Because I was answering the phone in room service at the time, and he was like, Will, is that you? I said, yes. I said, oh my God, you speak so fast. You need to slow down a little bit. Anyway, so I'm gonna back to your question. I would say William Hurt, just not just because I met him in Paris, just because after I met him, I didn't know who he was, and after when I was checking out his work, and I was like, oh my God, he did a lot, and he did so many great movies, and not just that, and I could see the real person behind, the star there. And that's what I was like, oh, that was amazing. And I started to admire him since then, So it was amazing, this interaction with him that I had. And, the movies, and he won an Oscar in 1982, actually, for he was playing as a transvestite at the time, The Kiss of the Spider Woman. That was the movie, and I didn't know that at all. So kind of, and I was like, wow, just to meet someone that I didn't know who he was and the way he approached, and I could see how down to earth he was. I just enjoyed a lot about, admire his career. So yeah, I would go for William Hurt for sure.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely. Did you enjoy the interview, Wayne?
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. I feel like I want to ask you more questions. The way you just sort of answered that, we'll have to do a spin-off where we do the other way round.
Absolutely, we should. Absolutely.
I could do when Khaleesi wakes up, we'll do Wayne and Khaleesi's magic box, and we'll sort of have
I love that.
a selection of questions.
I love that. I love the idea for sure. We should do that for sure. Amazing.
Awesome.
Thanks so much again for enjoying the interview. I'm going to repeat again. I like your passion about your work, about your life right now, your journey, and the skateboarding as well. Something that was the highlight for me of the interview because I love it. I love to have passionate people here on the show. When they are expressing themselves through their joys, their love, their passion. For me, I feel the energy and I got goosebumps now. It's amazing. I love that one. So carry on. Just be the person who you are. Just be that. You are the right place. You are just being yourself. I like your genuine kindness as well through your colleagues, your fellows. I think it's amazing. That's all it's about. Of course, we want to pursue something, we want to be successful, but it's good to appreciate people around us. And I love that as well about your approach regarding that. So thanks again for making the time for the interview. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Again, this is something which I've sort of pre-rehearsed. I was sort of thinking on different quotes. I read quite a lot of philosophy, and I was maybe thinking on something down that route. And then I came full circle and thought of, are you much of a reader? Do you read many novels?
Yes, I like reading. Yeah, but not. I do read. Yeah,
I've been reading Brandon Sanderson. Quite a lot of his work. It's fantasy-esque. And he's got a collection of books called the Stormlight Archive.
Okay.
We're going to need to do another chat for me to sort of explain all of these books, but there's sort of a through message through these books, and that is strength before weakness. Basically like journey before destination. So you enjoy the journey over the destination. And again, in this line of work, you've really got to appreciate the moment as opposed to where you want to go, because you can look at what someone else is doing and it can be very hard on you, and just appreciate that journey where you're going. So that's my leaving message. Beautiful. Journey before destination.
And thanks again for the interview. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great time with your family, your mom, and your loved one. And Happy New Year as well.
You have many family over here?
No, my family are back in Brazil. Oh. Yeah. So this year for me, Christmas is going to be in Madrid with a lovely friend. It's my family. She's my family. A lovely friend of mine and her partner as well. It's that's going to be my Christmas this year. I'm looking forward. Can't wait to get there.
Have an incredible time.
Thank you so much, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, William. Cheers. Thank you. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.